Here it is at last, the Helios Tarot forecast for the month, or Tarot Horoscope drawn specifically for your astrological zodiac sign. I'm B.R. Newman, in case you didn't know that already. Check out my website, IamHelios.com, through the link below, and consider everything that I have to offer there. Consider signing up to receive any number of the personal readings that I offer, or consider signing up to take a course. The choice is yours. There's a lot to explore there. Also consider checking out Annie Botticelli's Storyteller forecasts to see the astrological side of everything you're going to see here. It's fascinating, I promise. So, okay, I guess we'll just jump right into it. So here it is, Pisces, your 5-card Helios spread for the month of November. This is like a miniature Golden Dawn spread which uses 15 cards. In this case, we have 5 to the same results. We have a central theme, 2-dimensional timeline options to choose from, a past section, and a fate section. In your central theme, you have the 4 of discs. All 4s in tarot are associated with Spherith number 4 on the Tree of Life, which is known as Chesed. This is a repairing, healing energy. So it can be quite pleasant, but it does have a warning in this case, since it is manifest through Earth. This is security and material bounty, but it also can be stagnation. Being held up by resources, by connections, by finances, being a bit tied down by that which enables you to feel secure. So there's a bit of the paradigm through which you have to sacrifice freedom for security. We see a hint of that here, and of course we see the full culmination of that in Malkuth in the 10 of discs. So this, at this point, is just a warning. You are still plenty capable of doing something about it. The answer is, of course, giving, not holding on too much, not hoarding, not clinging, not compiling, collecting, clutter. No, the advice given by the 4 of discs is to give, to let the flow continue, pass on that which comes in, because you're being, I suppose, trained to allow greater degrees of wealth and abundance to flow into your life and out of your life. So, of course, true wealth is not defined by consolidation, compartmentalization, and collecting. It's defined by the active participation in a flow of wealth. So that really sums up the lesson of the 4 of discs, which most adequately embodies the whole story arc of the tarot spread. So you will be engaging this lesson through one of 2-dimensional timeline possibilities, one of which is the 3 of cups. No surprise, this is the card of abundance. This is the card of allowing abundance to flow out, so it carries some giving energy and receiving as well. So all 3s in tarot were associated with Binah on the Tree of Life, Spherith number 3, and as manifest through water. Well, I should say that this actually has to do with the left hemisphere of the brain, so this has to do with wise investments and careful calculation, and as manifest through water, through cups. This is abundance, fertility, celebration. So this theme of rich potential suggests that in order to manifest the desired abundance, one must celebrate it as if it has already occurred. So this brings into play the law of attraction as consciously directed by the left hemisphere of the brain through Binah, which has already gone through Spherith number 2, which is the right hemisphere of the brain. So this is not to the exclusion of that, but with careful consideration and also with expectation that more will come. So wisely investing, but also trusting and knowing that more is coming in, and the whole thing being a kind of active celebration. That's what this 3 of cups is all about. On the other side, you have the 2 of wands, the 2 of fire, and that's what I had suggested was the right hemisphere of the brain. This is a kind of imagination of what you might choose to do. So this is much less active, nowhere near as tangible, as balanced, or as actualized. All 2s in tarot being associated with Spherith number 2, Chokmah, on the Tree of Life. This has to do with the right hemisphere of the brain without the left hemisphere of the brain. So this is imagination before actualization. So this is a kind of experience of fantasy. Fantasizing about the wealth that you might attain and let pass on. Fantasizing about the most ideal way to actively participate in the flow of wealth, rather than celebrating your active participation in the flow of wealth as if it were already happening. So this is a much less powerful, much less effective way to activate the law of attraction, it being merely visualization rather than active demonstration of the faith that is required, the true belief that what you desire already exists, which in truth is the law of attraction's only prerequisite. So as I suggested in the beginning, the way to demonstrate this kind of faith is to give. So the lesson, of course, of the 4 of discs is to not let the energy pile up, but to let it flow, so you can demonstrate to the universe, to yourself, to God, that you are willing to actively participate in the flow of wealth rather than merely accumulating. Then you will very likely be much more capable of bringing in the best you could expect from the 4 of discs scenario. This is all inspired by the 3 of wands in your past. So we have 2 manifestations of Binah here. Having gone through the Three of Wands, you've developed the skill, the talent, and the confidence you require to bring about the wealth. You have the means to achieve the ends. So now you must demonstrate your willingness to participate in the manifestation process on an emotional level through celebration, through the active belief that it has already occurred. So by this point, you should be quite adept at engaging binah, exercising the left hemisphere of your brain in a bilateral sort of way, that isn't to the exclusion of the right hemisphere, but rather with hemispheric cohesion, not merely dreaming of what you could create without knowing how, or without any practical, tangible grasp on the mechanics of reality, but rather dreaming of it and then also contemplating how you might responsibly make this come about, and then also celebrating that as if it has already occurred, as your conscious decision to utilize the law of attraction to bring about the opportunity to participate in the flow of wealth. Without that belief and the trust and the faith at the core, you're very likely, as anyone is very likely, to hold on to every little bit that comes your way, sacrificing freedom for security, as the Four of Discs warns. So in your fate section, you have the Two of Swords, yet another manifestation of Chokhmah, Spirit 2 on the Tree of Life, and in this case manifest through air. So perhaps there's been a lot of mental chatter, perhaps residual mental chatter left over from the Three of Wands, and now as you go through the Four of Discs, it's time for that to subside a little bit, particularly if you're going to bring about the desired manifestation through the Three of Cups. Residue left over from the Three of Wands training process, you could call it, may only get in the way at this point, so the Two of Swords is actually stepping in to help you out in this case. That silences all of that. It's a breath of stillness amidst the chaos. However, this is not the kind of stillness that gets in the way of the Three of Cups, the three having to do with Binah on the Tree of Life, a much more elevated mental force than the two. This Two of Swords silencing force applies itself to only the mental chatter and unnecessary trivialities that no longer serve you or are no longer relevant. And this suggests that you might actually find that you have a little more mental clarity, particularly towards the end of this month. And that really makes the whole process easier. The only warning that always comes with the swords is that you could activate the theme of the suit of swords, which is quite problematic and dramatic, the purpose of which is to inspire humility. So the way to avoid activating all of that drama is to bring with you humility. So just demonstrate to yourself, to the universe, to God, or whatever you would like to believe, that you have the humility already, and the universe won't have to take over, and the dead mechanism will stay out of it, and it'll remain in your hands. You won't have to then learn the harsh lessons of humility. You'll actually demonstrate it in the beginning and just avoid the whole drama to begin with, then continuing your great work with the Three of Cups. So this could be quite fun. The spread is suggesting that you celebrate, so go ahead and get to that now. So long as that celebration doesn't in itself become problematic, so long as you remain reasonable, moderation should always be in mind, then you won't have to endure the drama that's alluded to here in the Two of Swords. There is certainly every reason to believe that you could just pass right over that potential for drama with the Two of Swords and just let it be what it is. Let it be a temporary silencing force that's laying all of those no longer relevant thoughts and mental chatter to rest so that you can focus on the good work and have fun. So that about wraps this up for the month. Thank you so much for listening to this and for watching. Please do consider contacting me for a personal reading of any kind. You can check out everything that I have to offer on my website, IamHelios.com. You can also sign up for a master course I have available there. Whatever you choose, we can take this incredibly far and deep. You can gain so much from our work together, as many people have already. I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks again.